In this lesson, we will be learning all about online travel agents, or for short, OTAs. Many of you might have heard of or even used them yourselves. And these include sites like Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, Expedia, and many others. But what is an OTA? At the surface, it is quite simply a website with a database of properties available for rent. The properties are managed by the host for potential guests to review and choose. But modern OTAs are so much more than that. They are built using advanced algorithms and let guests not only find a property that matches their budget and specific criteria, but also affect payments directly to the host and book the property should it be available. Nowadays, many of these online platforms have evolved further, allowing the host to create a profile page with a description of your property, stunning photographs, and details of amenities. Promote the property in a number of ways. Communicate directly with interested guests to address any queries or concerns. Manage calendars and collect payments directly in a number of currencies. Receive ratings and reviews from past guests to help promote future bookings. You should stick to one OTA if you are new with hosting. However, after becoming familiar with the process, it may be a good idea to start expanding to different OTAs. I would start with the largest one, Airbnb, and then move into lesser known ones such as Booking.com, Expedia, etc. The more OTAs you are registered on, the higher the chance that you will start receiving bookings. And do bear in mind that certain OTAs may be stronger in some markets than others. For example, a property manager I know, who works in a corner of Spain, continually comments that these major portals don't work for her, and she usually works through word of mouth and Facebook posting. So ask around and find out what works best for you. The better OTAs make their money by charging a commission for every transaction. And I definitely do not recommend that you join websites where you need to pay a base fee. It will take you some time to fully familiarize yourself with the different OTAs, and they do require constant refining to ensure that your property is performing at its best on their websites. Whilst encouraging you to set up your online profile on various booking channels, do pay attention to the different commission rates and structures. Booking.com will charge all of its commission to the host, whilst Airbnb tends to split the commission between the host and the guest. Although I agree that you should list your property on more than one OTA, a common feature I noticed is that the OTAs tend to reward success. So the more you rent out the property on the same profile, the more business is likely to arise through that specific OTA. Because of this, after analyzing which OTA sends me the most business, I direct more attention on honing the pricing and other features on that specific OTA. More OTAs mean more options, but it also means more headaches. And the biggest issue you may face is calendar synchronization and the risk of double bookings. Let us imagine that you have an apartment that you wish to rent, and you list it on both Airbnb and Booking.com. If you have not set up the system carefully, you risk having two different guests booking your apartment for the same night. And that could be a major problem. The solution? Within the OTA system, on the calendar feature, there is usually an option for icon linking, which allows you to exchange limited information between two or more calendars. However, with two or more OTA calendars, when you are solely relying on icon links, they usually only sync 2 to 3 times per day between themselves. And thus, there is still a risk of receiving the double bookings from two different platforms. And this can occur during busy seasons. You may wish to invest in Channel Manager software, which assists you to manage the calendars of multiple OTAs. However, when you are starting out, it may not add too much value and prove to be an ongoing expense. When it comes to payment, some channels, especially those designed mainly for hotels, will offer the chance to collect payment for you at the time of booking. And for the scope of this course, I highly recommend that you always go for this option. Also, I highly recommend to include a request for a security deposit on booking or arrival. Certain OTAs will hold the amount on your behalf, whilst with others you may need to collect it, usually cash, on your guest's arrival. Whichever booking engine you use, ensure that you get paid at the earliest, at least with a 50% non-refundable amount at the point of booking. Be strict and try not to compromise, and if possible, push for charging the whole amount before arrival. Another crucial aspect that really highlights the power of the OTAs is the review and rating system. Many OTAs utilize this feature to rank the properties on their platform, and as a host, you need to do all that you can to adequately provide a positive guest experience and receive the best possible feedback. Later in the course, we will discuss reviews in greater detail. When it comes to OTAs, you should always look out for being banned from them. And there are two main ways this may arise. Do refrain from taking the conversation away from the OTA platform, especially if you plan to cheat them out of their commission. There is a risk of being banned from the OTA, and more importantly, you risk losing all your hard-earned reviews. In addition, do ensure that your reviews are maintained to a high standard, as constant weak reviews are grounds for you to get blacklisted. Once you are banned, you won't be able to continue receiving bookings from their system, and worse still, you will lose all your hard-earned reviews. OTAs are very strong tools to ensure that you can launch quickly and profitably, but your ultimate goal should be to minimize the use of booking engines. An 18% commission can really affect your profitability, so finding alternative ways for guests to book directly with you will be essential. The following are some low-cost solutions. Provide the guests with your email address upon departure, so that in future they can contact you directly. I also recommend leaving a business card or some form of contact details so that they can recommend you to visiting friends. You may wish to reach out to the local university or businesses in the area, or set up a social media page for your property, so if anyone inquires, you can quickly send them the link. In addition, if you wish to invest more time and effort, set up a website, even a basic one. There are hundreds of websites that help you set up your own in seconds. So, there you have it. OTAs are going to be an essential tool in your hosting experience. So really take the time to research all of the different options and find out which ones work best for your property.